not seeing the scroll line. Not only that. Okay, I got. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good, good. Now let's get the second the Book of the Face going. And it needs its own title block. Yeah, we got a signal passing through from our video cameras here in the studio. And it looks like we got some big weather over the Sierras, the length of the state. We got small craft advisory off the coast throughout the length of the coast. And we got a storm coming in. And yeah, that's looking small craft advisory for something bar, Big Sur, rough seas. Yes, rough seas and small craft advisory for hazardous seas. Also, there's yeah, for winds, and yeah, those are those. Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's throughout the whole west coast. Looks to have yeah, small craft advisory, Oregon, Washington coast, high seas, further out. Yeah, gale warning. Yeah, gale warning further out. Okay. And gonna the Sunday night Islam. SHOW. And then we just go down here. Oh, it's already up. Okay. Start broadcast. Bam. And all right, right. Greetings to those of you. Oh, let me turn a camera. Yeah, greetings to those of you tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. Richard Slezak here. Let's get some light on the subject. And, oh, my. And we got also for the Sierras winter storm advisory coming up, as well as looking for the winter weather advisory for the Sierras. And we're going to go to local forecast now, conditions and forecast for Stockton, California. This is KXVS.org, webcasting from the John Moriarty Studio, 231 West Bedford Road. That's right next to 2001 Pacific Avenue, Stockton, California. Conditions as of 7:25 a.m.? What the heck? The 23rd of December. Wow, they're taking the day off. Is 10% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, then slight chance of rain overnight. It's currently, well, no, it was as of, no, this is whack. Then 60% chance of showers on Monday with a high of 50. This is from this morning. Monday night, showers, then chance of showers with a low of 44. Christmas Day becoming sunny, high of 58. Tuesday mostly clear, low of 38, or maybe even lower. Looks to be 38 also on Wednesday night and Thursday night. So, wow, are they a little sleepy-eyed? And, yeah, bring our shows up here. There we go. And I'm going to give you... There we go. There's mine for the Sunday Night Islam show. We've going back. Oh yeah, this complete record where we've really been compiling. Yeah. Oh yeah, looking back, all of 2017 is here. Going back to 2016, December. Yeah. Yeah, there were some connections shows. And then the last one, 2016, 2 years ago, that was the 18th, the last show. That Bukhari Hadith Sunnah, book 46. So on slaves and manumission. So been doing it now. That goes back 2 years. So we got a good solid record. And the surah readings from those days, way back a couple of years ago, January 15th was at Surah 28. See, so we were still in the middle Meccan surahs. And now we're into the Medinan. Did the late Meccan, and now we're doing the Medinan. And about to get the show going here. This is we're doing community radio here. We're developing. We're going to be broadcasting in this coming year. FM. We're working on that. We got an antenna up. We got transmitter, and so we're rolling forward. So if you're interested in doing radio, hey, come on down. Supporting it. We're very interested in you. Yes. If you're a small business, medium business, locally owned, any kind of locally owned legitimate business, we're glad to advertise, for sponsor. We're a nonprofit. Yes, sponsor. We have quarterly packages, $100, $200, $500, and we'll talk you up. We reach 100,000 people a month. So people are watching and listening, and we'd like you to be a part of that. And so we go forward, and I'm a capitalist, so let's be capitalists together, advocate a regulated capitalism, not savage capitalism. Got to have government. Hotel furniture liquidators, we appreciate you. Go take a look at what they have. You need furniture for your home? They're at 1648 North Shaw Road. Nearest cross street, East Fremont. That's just east of 99. Books, hey, it's Christmas time. Books for your home, books for kids. The Miracle Mile Bookstore, 2210 Pacific Avenue, and Doors Book Recyclery, 2310 Pacific Avenue. You know, I can sit and face the camera just as well. Fong, too, might buy some books for you, so take some good ones that people like. We'll take some. She might want to buy some. Custom Plastics and Signs at 326 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard here in Stockton, nearest Cross Street, San Joaquin. They fabricate plastic. They'll sell you, build you a display. They got displays already made. They got the raw material, the good stuff. Well, not the raw material, but it's already rolled out in sheets, rods, and tubes, so you could build something yourself. They'll make signs for you, stencils, so you can stencil around, vehicle and boat graphics. They'll either put it on, you can put it on yourself. T-shirt and business cards printed, and they'll fabricate stuff up. That's Custom Plastics and Signs, 326 East Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard here in Stockton. Millennium Computer Repair, 209-922-1879. Virus and spyware removal, performance enhancement, computer password removal, data backup, hard drive repair. Give them a call, 209-922-1879, Millennium Computer Repair. Habitat for Humanity Restore. Oh, yeah, new stuff arriving at least 5 days a week. And they're open 6. They're right over there on West Lane, 100 yards south of March Lane, 4933 West Lane, building accoutrements. HVAC. I've seen ductwork in there, electrical apparatus, furniture, railings, windows, doors, sinks, paint, wall boards, 2x4s, beams. Oh, yeah. Anything that's in a building, it ends up there in good shape. And for you, cleaning supplies. Oh, yeah. At the Restore, 4933 West Lane. Tender Donuts. We bake fresh daily at 1304 Northwest Lane. No, at 1304 East Hammer Lane. Yeah, it's 1304 East Hammer. What do you find? Tender Donuts, where they bake fresh daily, 7 days a week. Leaders T-shirt and business card printing, 500 East Lodi Avenue. Yeah, we hear you, Lodi, in Lodi. Yes, and you can call here, 467-4455 in the 209. Let us get started with our show this evening. And that is the Sunday Night Islam show. And let me just shrink down one screen, and because we got it looming right back there. Oh, what the heck is that? Well, I'll be doggone. Bam Dizibel. Okay, good. Okay, let us go to the next step here. And there's a billboard on this. This is in our audition computer. This records the show for replay. And here we go, just typing it on in. We got 556 here at the Voice of Stockton, coming to you over KXVS.org. Starting the show in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, world. Listeners over KXVS.org. I am Richard Slezak. It is the Sunday Night Islam show. We're going to move over to the big round table. And we got plenty of reading to do. We got, and Sharon. Learn more about Islam every show in their own words. Don't spare it, bear it. Woo-wee, baby. Gonna do you read me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you read me? And I'm not getting much through here. How about this? Yes. Now here we go. And maybe swing this back over here. And ooh, this is an excellent microphone. Might just use this one. And how's this one? It works pretty good too. And play with the cameras a little bit. And, started at 5:56, and oh my, we had some not sounding as well. Coming. Here we go. And we're going to pull out the numero una Quranic. And then we're going to pull out some other stuff here. Yep, and yeah, got plenty to share with you this evening. And away we go. All righty. And get our start time down. And because that's real important, I like to silence is not good. There's no audience in the background. We're not at AT&T or down in Chavez Ravine in baseball season, or weren't over in Berkeley at Memorial Stadium yesterday afternoon. We're down. Oh, they're not playing. Their seasons are over. Whoops! Santa Clara. Yeah, down at the 49er Stadium down at Santa Clara. All righty. We were we've been doing Surah 4 on women, and written in 626 came forth, and looks like we're heading towards the top of the hour. I'll share that with you here at KXVS.org. Also coming to you over Facebook and YouTube. It is 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. That is, we do have tidal waters in this county, and although we're a ways from the ocean. Surah 4 from N.J. Dawood's 1956 translation. We're about 3/4 of the way through it, and I will continue. This is where we left off. To Allah belongs all that is in the heavens and the earth contain. He has knowledge of all things. They consult you concerning women. Say, Allah has instructed you about them, and so has the book which has been proclaimed to you concerning the orphan girls, whom you deny their lawful rights and refuse to marry. Also regarding helpless children, He has instructed you to deal justly with orphans. Allah has knowledge of all that is good you do. If a woman fear ill treatment or desertion on the part of her husband, it shall be no offense for them to seek a mutual agreement, for agreement is best. Man is prone to avarice, but if you do what is right and guard yourselves against evil, know then that Allah is cognizant of all your actions. Try as you may, you cannot treat all your wives impartially. Do not set yourself altogether against any of them, leaving her as it were in suspense. If you do what is right and guard yourselves against evil, you will find Allah forgiving and merciful. If you separate, Allah will compensate you both out of His own abundance. He is munificent and wise. To Allah belongs all that the heavens and the earth contain. We exhort you, as we have exhorted those to whom these scriptures were given before you, to fear Allah. If you deny Him, know that to Allah belongs all that the heavens and the earth contain. He is self-sufficient and worthy of praise. To Allah belongs all that is in heaven and earth. Allah is your all-sufficient guardian. If He pleased, He could destroy you all and replace you by other men. This He has power to do. Let the man who seeks the reward of this life know that Allah holds the rewards of this life and of the next. He hears all and sees all. Believers, conduct yourselves with justice and bear true witness before Allah, even though it be against yourselves, your parents, or your kinfolk, whether the man concerned be rich or poor. Know Allah is nearer to him than you are. Do not be led by passion, lest you should swerve from the truth. If you distort your testimony or decline to give it, know that Allah is cognizant of all your actions. And let me take a momentary pause break, and we're going to celebrate Christmas by having our lit up tree and bringing forth a few more lights here in the, don't want to get snagged up here in the studio. And we do that by work for me. We're not getting any. There we go. And also I need to check out the, let's see. Oh, it just shifted again there, so it looks to be okay. And yeah, here I am. And if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of just stay out here for a minute and give it a good nose blow. Yeah, staying out of camera for that. Oh boy. Okay. Well, it's always good to get the mucus out. All righty. Continuing. And just did page 370. We only got 3 more pages. Believers, have faith in Allah and His apostle in the book He has revealed to His apostle, and in the scriptures He formerly revealed. He that denies Allah, His angels, His scriptures, His apostles, and the last day, has strayed far from the truth. Those who accept the faith and then renounce it, who again embrace it and again deny it, and grow in unbelief, Allah will never forgive them nor rightly guide them. Give warning to the hypocrites of a stern chastisement. Those who choose the unbelievers rather than the faithful for their friends, are they seeking glory at their hands? Surely all glory belongs to Allah. Allah has instructed you in the book that when you hear His revelations being denied or ridiculed, you must not sit and listen to them unless they engage in other talk, or else you shall yourselves become like them. Allah will surely gather in hell the hypocrites and the unbelievers. They watch your fortunes closely. If Allah grants you a victory, they say, did we not stand on your side? And if the unbelievers are victorious, they say to them, were we not mightier than you, and did we not protect you from the faithful? Allah will judge between you on the day of resurrection. He will not let the unbelievers triumph over the faithful. Hypocrites seek to deceive Allah, but it is Allah whom deceives them. When they rise to pray, they stand up sluggishly. They pray for the sake of ostentation and remember Allah but little, wavering between this and that, and belonging neither to these nor those. You cannot guide the man whom Allah has led astray. Believers, do not choose the infidels rather than the faithful for your friends. Would you give Allah a clear proof against yourselves? The hypocrites shall be cast into the lowest depths of hell. There shall be none to help them, but those who repent and mend their ways, who hold fast to Allah and worship
no other God beside him. They shall be numbered with the faithful, and the faithful shall be richly awarded by Allah. And they were just looking out into this further studio, further office. Okay. And why should Allah punish you? If you render thanks to him and truly believe in him, Allah will reward your labors, for he knows them all. Harsh words are frowned upon by Allah except when uttered by a man who is truly wronged. He hears all and knows all. Whether you do good openly or in private, whether you forgive those that wrong you, Allah is forgiving and all-powerful. Those that deny Allah and his apostles, and those that draw a line between Allah and his apostles, saying, we believe in some but deny others, thus seeking a middle way, these indeed are the unbelievers. For the unbelievers we have prepared a shameful punishment. As for those that believe in Allah and his apostles and discriminate against none of them, they shall be rewarded by Allah. He is forgiving and merciful. The people of the book ask you to bring down for them a book from heaven. Of Moses they demanded a harder thing than that. They said to him, show us Allah distinctly. And for their wickedness a thunderbolt smote them. They worshipped the calf after we had revealed to them our signs. Yet we forgive them that and bestow on Moses clear authority. When we made a covenant with them, we raised the mount above them and said, enter the gates in adoration, do not break the Sabbath. We took from them a solemn covenant, but they broke the covenant, denied the revelations of Allah, and killed their prophets unjustly. They said, our hearts are sealed. It is Allah who has sealed their hearts on account of their unbelief. They have no faith except a few of them. They denied the truth and uttered a monstrous falsehood. What's peculiar about that? Those last two sentences was that they're in parentheses. But the rest isn't. They denied the truth and uttered a monstrous falsehood against Mary. They declared, we have put to death the Messiah Jesus, the son of Mary, the apostle of Allah. They did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but they thought they did. Now this is verse 157. Those that disagreed about him were in doubt concerning his death, for what they knew about it was a sheer conjecture. They were not sure that they had slain him. Allah lifted him up to his presence. He is mighty and wise. There is none among the people of the book but will believe in him before his death, and on the day of resurrection he will be a witness against them. Because of their inquiry, we forbade the Jews good things which they were formerly allowed them. Because of their iniquity. We forbade the Jews good things which were formerly allowed them, because time after time they have debarred others from the path of Allah, because they practice usury, although they were forbidden it, and cheat others of their possessions. We have prepared a stern chastisement for those of them that disbelieve, but those of them that have deep learning, and those that truly believe in what has been revealed to you and to other prophets before you, who attend to their prayers and pay the alms tax and have faith in Allah and the last day, these shall be richly rewarded. We have revealed our will to you as we revealed it to Noah, and to the prophets who came after him, as we revealed it to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and David, to whom we gave the Psalms. Of some apostles we have already told you, in parentheses, how Allah spoke directly to Moses, continuing, but there are others of whom we have not yet spoken, apostles who brought good news to mankind and admonished them so that they might have no plea against Allah after their coming. Allah is mighty and wise. Allah himself bears witness by that which he has revealed to you that it has been revealed with his knowledge, and so do the angels. There is no better witness than Allah. Those that disbelieve and debar others from the path of Allah have strayed far from the truth. Allah will not forgive those who disbelieve and act unjustly, nor will he guide them to any path other than that of hell. In it they shall remain forever. That is no difficult thing for Allah. Men, the apostle has brought you the truth from your Lord. Have faith, and it shall be well with you. If you disbelieve, know that to Allah belongs all that the heavens and the earth contain. He is wise and all-knowing. People of the book, do not transgress the bounds of your religion. Speak nothing but the truth about Allah. The Messiah, Jesus the son of Mary, was no more than Allah's apostle, and his word which he cast to Mary in a spirit from him. So believe in Allah and his apostles, and do not say three, forbear, and it shall be better for you. Allah is but one God. Allah forbade that he should have a son. His is all that the heavens and the earth contain. Allah is the all-sufficient protector. The Messiah does not disdain to be a servant of Allah, nor do the angels who are nearest to him. Those who through arrogance disdain his service shall all be brought before him. Allah will reward those that have faith and do good works. He will enrich them from his own abundance. As for those who are scornful and proud, he will sternly punish them, and they shall find none besides Allah to protect or help them. Men, you have received clear evidence from your Lord. We have sent forth to you a glorious light. Those that believe in Allah and hold fast to him shall be admitted to his mercy and his grace. He will guide them to him along a straight path. If they consult you and say, thus Allah instructs you regarding those that die childless. If a man die childless and he have a sister, she shall inherit half of his estate. If a woman die childless, her brother shall be her sole heir. If a childless man have two sisters, they shall inherit 2/3 of his estate. But if he have both brothers and sisters, the share of each male shall be that of 2 females. Thus Allah makes plain to you his precepts so that you may not err. Allah has knowledge of all things. That ends the N.J. Dawood, 1956 translation of Surah 4. And let me do a little engineering check of things here. Let me make sure that, that is okay. And the radio DJ up. There we go. And all right, we're okay there. 6:17 p.m. here at KXVS.org. Okay. And righty. Now, I brought some good stuff to share with you. Several years ago, I did read through a different translation of Surah 4. Oh, already got it up here. And took these notes, and the Noldeki numbered the Medina, 10th Noldeki numbered Medina and Surah. 626 Amini Deo it was written, 177 verses. Now at the battle, it was on the Battle of Uhud. Many Muslims were killed. The widows and orphans were left behind. The surah serves to solve problems they were encountering. Hypocrites and lukewarms they were also about. Came somewhat closer to the brotherhood because they saw these guys would put up a fight. And Jews started calling Arab paganism superior to Islam and siding with the Quraysh by passing information to them. Pickthall states that Muhammad reigns in Medina as sovereign. And verse 1 declares humankind descended from Adam and Eve, 2 through 12, and rules of inheritance. Heretofore, our pagan women had no rights. Verse 5 addresses the retarded. 3, you can marry up to 4 women. Then onwards, 15, women's lewdness, punishment, starvation, and locked up house, possible reprieve if Allah wills it. And 19, from the rise of Islam, women were punished for adultery and fornication by being immured. But this was exchanged in the case of a maiden for 1 year's banishment and 100 stripes. For married women, it became stoning. Yeah, immured. Continuing. Let's see. 20 through 25 were on marriage laws. 33, O believers, devour not each other's substance and mutual frivolities, that is, games of chance and usury, unless there's a consented trafficking amongst you, and do not commit suicide. 35, men are in charge of women. Also, a life free of great sins will get faults plotted out and paradise granted. 32 through 42 are amassing wealth, covetous, and show kindness. 38, men are superior to women. God endowed them that way for having to pay the dowry. Virtuous women are obedient, careful during the husband's absence. 40, be good to those who you come in contact with, both free man and slave. Cleanliness for prayer is welcome in 46. Jews distorted their scripture. That was a 44. And 46, Jews distorted their scripture. Oh my, quite an accusation. Not the first time that was mentioned, although some scholars say the inclusions of that in the late Meccan were actually put in during the Medinan era. 60 through 63 words to hypocrites and former idolaters. 67, obey God and his apostle, ask for God's pardon. God is he who turneth unto man is merciful. 66 through 70 are on martyrs of Islam. 84 or 82, Muhammad claims Quran is from God, for it has no contradictions. 91, former vacillating idolaters who violate their peace vow, resume fighting against Muslims are to be found and killed. Believers are not to kill one another. Manslaughter amongst believers is settled by paying blood money, freeing a believing slave. Within a tribe or nation, see manslaughter of those with whom there is a covenant. D, 2 months fast for believers of little or no means. Verse 93, murder is punished by hell forever. Don't rip off non-believers. 94, strivers of wealth and lives are superior to the sedentary. That's 95, 96. If oppressed, migrate to where you can attain success. Then except for feeble men and women and children, feeble men, women, and children. Those are that was 98, 99, 100. Allah is merciful towards fugitives for Allah. 101, it's okay to suspend belief in a new land if in fear of disbelievers, but as such they are enemies. 102, for a group of believing fugitives at worship time, some worship, others guard, then rotate. When no rain, no sickness, or no threat, worship at fixed hours. 104, pursue the enemy even if you are suffering. 105 and 106 are on praise of God. 107, loveth not one who is treacherous, sinful, do not pray for them. Allah surrounds them. They are the life of this world. Hell is their next. Evil wrongdoers can seek pardon of Allah. Sin is committed against oneself. Crime against the innocent is bad. That was up till 112. 108 is said to have been revealed when Muhammad was about to acquit a Muslim who had committed theft and laid guilt at the door of a Jew. I note the Quranic explanation is contradictory. Twisting of justice. I looked upon that as being. Misleaders will, starting again at 113, misleaders will not adversely affect the brotherhood. Those who do almsgiving are kind and seek peace amongst people. Allah will bless. Hell awaits those who oppose the messenger. Polytheists are not pardoned. Arab idols were all female. Idolaters Allah will lead astray. Idolaters cut cattle ears. Idolaters obey Satan, thus are losers. Satan beguiled idolaters. Idolaters will go to hell. That's through 121 notes. Allah is truthful. Believers who do good works will go to paradise. Allah's accordance is not absolutely Islamic, Jew, or Christian. Good works and believe in Abraham's religion gains paradise. Deal justly with orphans. Make peace between husbands and wives. Equal treatment of wives is impossible, but turn to each one. Do good and right. If separation, Allah will compensate. That's through 130. All belongeth to Allah. Believers seek reward on earth and in hereafter. Allah is closest to each of us, believers to paradise. Vacillators in and out of faith will go to hell. That's apparently through 152. Back to 118, cutting animals' ears was an idolatrous superstition custom of the old Arabians. Altering God's creation refers to mutilation of slaves, branding of their bodies, filing of their teeth. 143, take not infidels for friends, rather believers. 47, God loveth not that evil be a matter of public talk. And continuing, 150 is those who believe in Allah and His Messenger make no distinction between men will get wages. Allah forgiving and merciful. Islam is loyal to Moses as a prophet, lawgiver more clearly than the Bible. They explain Moses. Muhammad and the Muslims had the Constitution of Medina, treaty with the 3 Jewish tribes, as well as everybody. But we are the host of heaven working with the Muslims. Jewish tribes broke the covenant in general, disbelieved the Quran. They slayed their prophets as accused by Muhammad. They admit to harden their hearts accused of. Allah has set a seal against the Jews. According to Muhammad, that was 155. Jews spoke against Mary, Jesus' mother. They, the Jews, slayed him, Jesus, not nor crucified, but it appeared so unto them. And those who disagree concerning it are in doubt thereof. They have no knowledge. Then there's something about God distorted. They slew him. A blanket statement, apparently. Well, anyways, Muhammad is pretty insistent on that. 158, Allah took him, Jesus, up to himself. Allah was ever mighty, wise. He translated Jesus. 159, no one of the people of the scriptures believed Jesus to be the Messiah before his death. Then on the day of resurrection, Jesus will be a witness against the Christians who said didn't speak the Islamic way about Jesus. Jews get out of line and consequences. Jews did wrong. Good things to them are no longer legal. Jews hindered from Allah's way, hindered others. Jews take usury when they are forbidden it. There was some speculation that was a violation of the Medina Treaty. Jews attain property via falsehood, that is of others. Disbelievers face a terrible doom. Allah will reward believers who pay diligently, pay the poor dues, believe in the last day and Allah. Gabriel inspired the Quranic prophets. Moses particularly was inspired. I'm sharing notes from reading of other translation, the Noldeki, the Rodwell, the Pickthall, still in the 160s. Messengers sent of good cheer. Allah tests nations and peoples. Disbelievers are astray who hinder Muslims. Disbelievers who do wrong will go to hell. Muhammad proclaims himself a prophet of God in 170. Jesus told Mary he's just a messenger of God. Jesus is not part of the true Godhead. That's in 171. Jesus was a slave unto Allah. Believers are rewarded with heaven. No witnesses at judgment against believers. This surah proves you must follow Allah. Allah will guide believers. Inheritance among the living Muslims men are twice what women get, or a sister would get. All righty. Let me just make record of this, and looks like it's 6:35. Surinal, notes 41 through 47. On Surah 4. All right. Continuing. Also read some history books about Muhammad and the rise of Islam, and I'd like to share with you from Muhammad by Michael Robinson. Muhammad was an arbiter in Medina. Order was maintained only by threat of vengeance. 3 paragraphs in the document pertain to Allah and His messenger for arbitration. That's in the Constitution of Medina. To police Medina, it took all of the wits and eruditeness of Muhammad and his counselors to turn moral authority into political power, also aided by circumstances and social force pressure. Tribes, Bedouins, joining and converting to Islam, some over dislike for the Quraysh, the Asad clan, and the Khazrajite clan of the Auf, and those were not everybody in Medina among the Arabs welcomed Muhammad. It took a while. They ultimately all did. They converted during his about 3 to 4 years there in Medina. Abu Amr was a monotheist ascetic living in Medina, and he was amongst the critics of Muhammad. There was also Asma bint Marwan, a poetess who worshipped Manat and was a Oz tribe member. There was the centenarian Abu Afek, who was a poet of the Khazrajite clan. Now, Muhammad had corrupted. Now Abu Amr met with Muhammad in like fall of 622, right after Hijrah, and he told Muhammad had corrupted monotheism with false ideas. Now, he emigrated to Mecca with 15 to 50 followers and ended up in Syria. He died before the invasion, so he died before 634. And moving right along here, got about 639. Jews in Medina asked Muslims to follow the 7 commandments of the sons of Noah. That is in the book of Adam and Eve. That's a hidden scripture of the Jews, written, maybe 500 years before Christ. These include to practice fair dealings, to refrain from blaspheming against the name, to refrain from practicing idolatry, from practicing immorality, refrain from murder, refrain from theft, refrain from eating limbs taken from living animals. Pretty disgusting thing. Medina Jews saw Muhammad as a political opponent, for they had enjoyed political power in Medina before the Hijrah. The Jewish rabbis saw Muhammad as an illiterate, his rantings as incoherent. The Quran distorted Old Testament stories. The Quran was full of errors and anachronisms on those stories. The Jewish rabbis saw Muhammad as a false prophet. In 623, the Ummah had no community funds. Members were occasional laborers. Mecca to Syria, Quraysh caravans passed within 60 miles of Medina. The first caravan raids, there was no bloodshed. Now, these were socially acceptable to make war. No government, tribal rules, consequences via vengeance. Now, January 624, Muhammad's already been in Medina for all of 623 and fall of 622. 5 seasons, 15 months, 16 months, and it was the violence, and it was the first death in a caravan raid. It was on the Mecca-Taif Road. Nakla, 4 Meccans, 2 prisoners, 1 killed, 1 escaped. The whole caravan was taken. Now, in March, there was the Battle of Badr Well, a raid, an ambush. Sufyan's $50,000 dinar worth of merchandise did not come that normal route, but he had a 950-man Meccan force that did. But it lacked central authority. There was more than one clan involved. There was a number, and they conflicted. The Meccans lost 70 dead, 70 prisoners, and withdrew, leaving much booty. Prisoners had 2 prisoners who had studied Jewish and Persian sources. Oh my, they were part of that 950-man fighting force war. And they asked Muhammad awkward questions and scoffed at Muhammad. They were executed, even though they could have been ransomed. Continuing. The Badr victory empowered Medina and Islam. Muhammad had stayed in the rear in a hut, prayed through rocks and insults at the Quraysh. Surah 8 is on the Badr battle. And there is word that he was out there at the battle, but he wasn't leading squads into battle. Now, no Jews went to Badr. Again, this is March 624. After Badr, the Muslim observance of Yom Kippur ended, as did worship towards Jerusalem. Jews had let their hair flow freely. Muslims and pagan Arabs combed and parted their hair. Now, there were getting to be conflicts the summer of 624. There was a Abu Afek who was murdered in his sleep by a non-veteran of Badr. That was the second assassination. Now, Amma Bet Marwan, who's this poetress, she was a Banu Khatma, which was one of the tribes there in Medina, but she was murdered. Now, there was no vengeance upon Abu Afek's, murder, the Banu Khatma to which she belonged. No one avenged her, I think I meant to have written. Umayyar murdered him. He had not gone to Badr. So that was Abu Afek was murdered by Umayy. Now the Banner Kanuka, there was a goldsmith shop. A woman lost her shirt, for they stuck a tack through it sneakily. The Jews did. They asked her to remove her veil, and so she was offended by that. That after her slip fell away, the goldsmith was murdered. The Banu Qanuqa retreated to a fort for a 15-day siege. Muhammad wanted to kill them. Ibn Ubay, major leader of the Arabs in Medina, was allied with them. Muhammad acquiesced for banishment. They left most of their wealth behind. Muhammad kept a fifth of that. Hafsa bint Umar, 18 years old, married Muhammad. More about that. The Battle of Uhud, March 21st, 625. This is a year after Badr. Well, Meccan force went north, battled Muslim, private army force, I use that term, 3 miles north of Medina. It was a confusing battle. 70 dead Muslims, only 10 had been immigrants. Muhammad was cut and bruised and had for a while, rumored, been killed. The Meccans did not pursue the battle into Medina. They would have galvanized their allies in Medina and elsewhere against the Meccans. It was a Muslim defeat. No Jews fought in Uhud. Surah 3 alludes to the Battle of Uhud. And then following that, Muhammad demarcates Islam from Judaism. The Islamic idea of surrendering came forth. Now, Sufyan ibn Khalid, chief of Banu Libyan, was assassinated by Abdullah ibn Umayz by beheading. And Sufyan's head was presented to Muhammad and flung at Muhammad's feet. Oh my, getting to be 6:48 here at the voice of KXVS.org. Continuing, early Medinan period. Medina hit the Hijaz, year period 625, reviewing Muhammad by Michael Robinson. The Meccan immigrants occupied the Banu Nadir houses and land, and some poor Medinans were able to get that stuff because it had been abandoned, because they had emigrated, because they were banished. Muhammad got some land to provide for himself and his family. Then Muhammad married 2 widows, Quraysh 30-year-olds, Hubbies had died at Badr and at Uhud. And they were Salama and Zainab bint Khuzaymah. Surah 54 on enemies in Medina and Mecca. That's Surah. Read up on it. That's in 195. Also, Abu Rafi, an aged Jew, a critic of Islam, was assassinated by the Khazraj Muslims. An expedition was blessed by, their expedition was blessed by Muhammad. December 6, 26, expedition against Banu Mustalik. The Muslims scattered to Mustalik near the Red Sea coast. Prisoners were taken. Juwariya bint was Mustalik's chief, was bought into slavery by Muhammad and married him. Continuing, Abu Rafi. Oh, yeah, okay. Aisha's and Muhammad's marriage was consummated, I say here, on her 13th birthday. Aisha was carried in a closed litter on the back of the camel, left by mistake. This was up around 628. 629 was taken back to Medina by a soldier, Sufwan. Adultery was slandered about to many between the two. Arab peasantry expected social and sexual encounters to occur whenever a boy or girl met. Man, woman are together. And, okay, Surah 29, on slanders of Aisha, witnesses required, but not that of Mary. 05 through 09, Zainab bint Jash, wife of Zayd ibn Muhammad. Oh my. Mo lasted after Zainab sleek. Zainab, Zayd offered her up. Surah 33, justified marrying adopted son's wife, violation of Arab custom, and Zainab was Muhammad's cousin. Looks like we got 6:53 coming up. All righty. That's it for Michael Robinson's history on that time period. And, okay. Got more here. This is mainly on, let's get to this other first. There was, right after the Hijra, Aisha, Ali, Abu Bakr's family, and Muhammad's family came in the following days. The first mosque was constructed 100 eels square, 3 doors, one facing south. The second, Gate of Gabriel, and the third, Gate of Mercy. Abdullah, son of Zayd, had dreamed of a mosque, minaret, crier, or muezzin. Muhammad instantly adopted it. God is great, there is no God but God. Muhammad is the apostle of God. Come to prayers, there is no God but God. Prayer is better than sleep. Prayer is better than sleep. Christians of Medina preferred Islam to idolatry. Some became Muslims. Schisms and bitter dissensions among the Christians of the East had impaired their orthodoxy, weakened their zeal, and disposed them easily to be led away by new doctrines. Custom of Middle Eastern religions to have a sacred point to which they turn faces in adorations, the Sabians toward the North Star, the Persians the rising sun, the Jews to Jerusalem. Mohammed compromised with the Jews and moved the Qibla of the Muslims from Mecca to Medina, we just heard, and then he moved it back. This was so 622 to 624 in the first two Medinan years. Surah 8, Brotherhood of Muslims, was taken to be temporary as to help the Meccans who were falling ill in Medina. It includes fighting for the faith as praise made upon those Meccans, and that has been applied to justify militaristic jihad. And looking at the time, Ali, 6:55 p.m. here at KXVS.org. Ali, Muhammad's cousin, married Fatima, Muhammad's daughter. Ali was 22 and Fatima was 16. Muhammad consummated his marriage to Aisha, who was betrothed unto him. And Muhammad lived a simple life. He did house chores, ate dates, barley bread, milk, and honey. Muhammad's favorite wife throughout his life was Khadijah. He founded an army at his command. Fugitives from Mecca, proselytes from the desert tribes, adept at arms and fond of partisan warfare. There was a surah to justify. It states, I being the last prophet am sent with the sword, no argument, no discussion, but slay all those who refused obedience to the law. Predestination was brought to aid the belligerent doctrines. Charity and meekness gave way to greed and violence. Muhammad did it less to profit himself and more to spread the faith. 13 years of persecution, especially by the Qurayshites. His family dispersed, exiled from Medina, were the seeds that sprouted that caused the turn. Abdullah ibn Jaysh had between 8 and 10 followers. He jacked a caravan of the seasonal of several carpets and 4 men. Killed 1, converted 2, and I would 95. First drop of blood displayed in Muhammad's the flame of prophecy was quenched by the slime of the earth. Looks like we're getting up there. The Battle of Badr. Muslims had water. Qurayshites needed water. Muslims had the higher ground. Half the Qurayshites fled. Surah 3 describes that battle. And here. Booty was divided equally amongst all the expedition warriors and for Muhammad. And the Battle of Badr switched power from Mecca to Medina. Muhammad spoke as a lawgiver and as sovereign. The idolatrous Arab tribes were converting to Islam, for it was the religion of their forefathers. Jews in Medina, 3 powerful tribes, ridiculed Islam. The Constitution of Medina the idolatrous Arab tribes were converting to Islam, for it was the religion of their forefathers. Jews in Medina ridiculed Islam. Asima, the feminist poet, Cobb, the 120-year-old poet. And the Jews could practice their religion. Bani Kanoka, Jewish tribe of goldsmiths, secured a Muslim milkmaid's veil to his bench. She stood, the veil came off. A Muslim man stabbed to death the goldsmith. Muslim man was killed by Banu Kanuka. A riot broke out. They retreated to their stronghold. Oba Salul stood up for them. The Biak were banished to Syria and left their wealth. And looks like we're the Kabbalah returns to Mecca. They turn from Jerusalem and the temple to the Kaaba because the Jews were stiff-necked, not converting to Islam. Then Hafsa, this is late 625, daughter of Omar, 18-year-old beauty, married Muhammad for political bonding. And the Battle of Ohad. Abu Sufyan, Khorazites went to Mecca, fought Mohammed and Muslims near there to a draw, and withdrew. All righty, folks, I'm going to call it on that. Thanks for listening in. We got 7 p.m. This has been the Sunday Night Islam show, and a little bit of history there to follow. Surah 4, kind of bring you up to where things are at and what has been happening. Listen in weekly, get a lesson on Islam, gives you greater understanding of what's going on in the world. So, building a bridge, building understanding, can't be done all at once. There's a lot to it. And history is good to know as well. Other people's stories gives you greater understanding of them. And there is my, and we do have over an hour. Okay. Have a good Sunday evening. Those of you who are Christians, have a Merry Christmas. Those of you who are Jewish, hope you had a good Hanukkah. And practice a religion, the general audience. Just go. And even if you're not, just seek understanding. Have a good week. All righty. Let me take down the... shucks. Looks like I got frozen in there. Okay, I'm going off the YouTube and the Facebook. Looks like we got froze anyway.